welcome back to the podcast. This is going to be an episode covering my EP of 3 songs called Ascension. This here is After You Are Greater Than Time. This is my first actual release where I am using orchestral elements in my work. And I'm really proud of it, especially as my first ever projects, I guess, in that genre. I don't know if any of you listening have heard of the show, Apple TV show called Defending Jacob. It has Chris Evans in it. It's extremely good. It's kind of a crime mystery thriller, but Apple TV, just like any other Apple TV show, this one is amazing. I think, in my opinion, Apple TV is doing really well with their shows right now. And if I had to ever choose one subscription to pay for, it would be Apple TV, without any hesitation. Okay, well, besides Spotify, I'm talking about for film. But the whole reason why I'm saying that is because the intro music not the music, but the introduction of that show really inspired me to write some music. And what came about from that was a track I named Paranoia. And so, as a little bit of a challenge for myself, I decided that I wanted to rewrite the introduction music for Defending Jacob, but just totally, it would be totally new. So what I did was I went to YouTube and I found someone who posted a clip of just the intro to the show. So I downloaded that and then I put it into Logic and made sure I removed the audio from it so it didn't distract me. And then I started writing. And it really did not take me long to come up with an idea. And so right as the track starts, there is this reverse piano sound. And I actually made that, so I did play the piano. I played a note on the piano and then I reversed it to make that kind of rising sound to start the track. And if you listen closely, you'll hear that throughout the rest of the track. Then the next one is Gravity. Gravity is cool, but it could have been better. And I'm just being honest with that. A friend that I have really loves Gravity and says it's his favorite thing I've ever made, which is really nice of him, but me listening to it with the somewhat trained ear that I have now, I realize that it could have been better. So Gravity uses a lot of brass in it. It's especially towards the end, and that's what is bothering me about it. If you listen to it, you'll hear, like, near the middle and end, the brass comes in and is very gritty and just loud. I don't think I processed it well, and I was just learning. But all that being said, I'm very proud of it too. It's a stepping stone, and I'm not going to, I guess, regret that I posted it. I'm just going to leave it up. It's going to be there, part of my growth, and something I can look back on and learn from. So, and then lastly, my favorite track from that EP, and one of my favorites that I've ever made, is called Ascension. Now this is a masterpiece. Again, especially for how early let me see. I started doing orchestral composition in September. I released this October 31st. So it was not even a full month, or it could have been just over a month, that I had been making this type of music. And for me to be releasing it at that time was pretty cool. So Ascension uses choir. It uses strings and brass and other elements to it as well. I just sat down and in in the evening, I did not get up. I did not do anything else. I just sat down and worked and worked and worked and worked until I had my final cut. And then, well, I guess you wouldn't say final cut. I feel like that's more for film. But I had my final track, my final export, I guess. And I just could not stop listening to it. I sent it to a friend and he was like, wow, this is really, really impressive. And I still remember the question he asked me. He said, so do you think you could have done this a month ago? And on the surface, that question is kind of obvious. Well, the answer to that question is kind of obvious. Just straight up no. I don't think I could. But then really, the thing that I really like about this guy, I don't know if he would want me to say his name out loud. I'm sure he wouldn't have a problem with it, but just to be on the safe side, I'll save that for another time. But what I really like about him is the questions he asks. And that question really got me thinking. And my answer to that was, after tossing that around in my mind a little bit, was no. But then I went on to say, the growth I have seen in myself from that short amount of time, from September to October, was crazy. And part of it, or a lot of it, had to do with mentoring, and with the mentor that I had. But also it had to do with me sticking to it. Every single night, I would sit down at my computer and I would work on music. And I'm saying every single night. It was every single night, and even during the day sometimes. And I built up my hours working on that and working on my music, working on it. And it paid off. It was a lesson for me to be like, that if I want to do something, all I really need to do is sit down and practice, and I will get better. I guess that is a good lesson for really anyone listening, and anyone at any level of their creative journey, or in anything, honestly, is to stick to it. If you want to get better, if you need to get better, for whatever reason, don't be lazy about it. Just keep working, keep studying, keep practicing, keep whatever, and it is guaranteed to pay off.